Yes, my friends, things are really heating up inside the Miami Dolphins, and today we need to talk about something that has every Dolphins fan paying attention. We all know the quarterback position can change the future of an entire season, and this is one area where Miami simply cannot afford to make a mistake. Every single fan wants to see this team competing for a Super Bowl, and honestly, why not believe that this could finally be the year? But there's one name that is quickly becoming the center of every conversation: Malik Willis. After another impressive day at training camp, many fans are starting to believe he could be exactly what this team needs. The confidence is growing, his connection with the receivers looks stronger every day, and people are beginning to wonder if Miami has found its leader for the season ahead. Of course, not everyone feels the same way. Some fans are already convinced that Malik Willis is ready for this challenge, while others still wonder if the team would be better off with Tua Tagovailoa leading the offense if that were somehow possible. Now I want to hear from you. Which side are you on? Do you believe Malik Willis is proving that he deserves to be the Dolphins quarterback, or do you think Tua Tagovailoa would still be the better option? Leave your opinion in the comments because I know this debate is going to divide the fan base. And if you've been supporting the Miami Dolphins for more than 15 years, hit that like button as hard as you can. Let's show how strong this fan base really is. Now, let's get straight into everything that happened at today's training camp, because Malik Willis gave Dolphins fans plenty of reasons to be excited. The biggest story from today's practice was simple. Malik Willis stole the show. From the moment team drills began, he looked confident, comfortable, and completely in control of the offense. It didn't take long before everyone watching practice realized they were witnessing his best performance of training camp so far. One of the first major highlights came on a beautiful deep throw that immediately caught everyone's attention. Willis executed a play-action fake from under center, stood comfortably inside a clean pocket created by the offensive line, planted his feet, and launched a perfect deep pass to Malik Washington for around 60 yards. The placement of the football could not have been much better. Even though the defender tried to undercut the route, the ball dropped perfectly into Washington's hands, allowing him to make the catch before being forced out of bounds. That wasn't the only explosive connection between those two players. Later during practice, Malik Willis rolled to his left and delivered another impressive throw while on the move. This time he connected with Malik Washington again for another huge gain of roughly 45 yards. Those two explosive completions alone accounted for well over 100 yards during practice, and they continue to show that the chemistry between quarterback and receiver keeps growing every single day. Over the past several practices, Malik Washington has quietly become one of the biggest stories in training camp. Early on, rookie Caleb Douglas generated plenty of excitement with his strong start, but recently the spotlight has clearly shifted. Washington has consistently made plays and continues building trust with Malik Willis. More and more, it looks like when Willis wants to attack downfield or needs a reliable target on design plays, Malik Washington is becoming that first option. There is also another interesting part of Willis's performance that deserves attention. His athletic ability continues to stand out. Throughout practice, he repeatedly demonstrated the ability to throw accurately while moving outside the pocket. On another impressive play, Willis rolled left and delivered a sidearm pass to rookie tight end Sadou Traore. Changing arm angles without sacrificing accuracy is not something every quarterback can do, but Willis continues showing that this is one of his strengths. His arm talent has never really been questioned, but seeing it consistently appear during training camp is encouraging. Whether he is launching deep passes, throwing while on the run, or adjusting his release angle to avoid defenders, he appears more comfortable every single day. Just as important, his confidence seems to be growing with every practice. Training camp is always about progression, and according to everything from today's session, Malik Willis continues moving in the right direction. His timing with his receivers looks sharper, his decision-making appears more decisive, and the offense seems increasingly comfortable with him leading the group. The difference between Willis and the other quarterbacks during today's practice also became noticeable. During the late 2-minute drill, Willis successfully guided his offense into field goal range. It was another example of the offense operating efficiently under his leadership. The same could not be said for Quinn during his opportunity. His 2-minute drill started with an interception after the football was tipped before being caught by Ethan Bonner. On the following play, the offense surrendered a sack, ending another difficult possession. While there had been some positive moments earlier in camp, today's practice clearly belonged to Malik Willis. At this point in training camp, there seems to be very little doubt about who has been performing at the highest level. Every practice matters, and Willis continues stacking good performances together while building momentum before preseason games begin. Although Willis grabbed most of the headlines, he certainly wasn't the only player making noise. One-on-one drills during padded practice always provide valuable insight because they allow players to demonstrate their individual ability without many of the variables present during full team drills. Malik Washington continued his impressive stretch there as well, making multiple downfield catches and consistently creating separation. Not every young player enjoyed a perfect afternoon, however. Rookie cornerback Chris Johnson experienced a difficult day during several one-on-one matchups. That should not come as a surprise. Young defensive backs often face a steep learning curve early in training camp, especially when covering talented receivers without safety help. Growing pains are expected, and today's practice simply becomes another learning opportunity as he continues developing. In the trenches, several players also turned heads. Second-year defensive lineman Zeke Biggers put together one of his strongest practices, recording multiple wins during one-on-one pass rush drills using different techniques. That versatility could become extremely valuable as Miami continues evaluating depth along the defensive line. Kane Proctor also received praise after showing excellent strength against Zach Sealer during individual work. Holding your ground against a player like Sealer is never easy, making those successful reps especially encouraging. Patrick Paul and Chop Robinson continued one of the more entertaining battles of camp. The two young players traded victories throughout practice, pushing each other to improve. These are exactly the kinds of competitive matchups coaches love seeing because both players benefit from facing quality competition every day. Aaron Brewer also delivered an impressive performance by winning his matchup against Jordan Phillips. Meanwhile, Kenneth Grant added a pair of successful reps of his own, and Jonas Savaiania was also mentioned as another player who enjoyed a productive day during the individual drills. Perhaps one of the most encouraging developments on defense continues to be Chop Robinson. Entering padded practices, many people wanted to see whether Robinson's added size and strength would translate into more physical play. According to today's session, the answer appears to be yes. One notable play saw Robinson overpower Patrick Paul with a bull rush that forced Malik Willis to throw the football away. That kind of power move represents another layer to Robinson's game. Speed has always been one of his biggest strengths, but if he can consistently generate pressure through power as well, he becomes a much more complete pass rusher. Later at practice, Austin Jackson briefly left the field, creating an opportunity for Charlie Heck to step in. Robinson immediately took advantage, beating Heck on consecutive plays with speed around the edge. On one of those snaps, Willis managed to escape and extend the play, but the pressure arrived quickly enough that it likely would have been considered a sack in a game situation. Those back-to-back victories only reinforced what has been developing throughout camp. Chop Robinson appears to be taking another step forward, combining improved physicality with the explosiveness that already made him dangerous. Another competition worth watching continues to be the battle at kicker. During the 2-minute drills, Malik Willis led the offense into position for a 50-yard field goal attempt. Both Riley Patterson and Zane Gonzalez converted from that distance. Later, Patterson missed from 43 yards while Gonzalez connected successfully, giving Gonzalez the advantage for that portion of practice. The final kicking session featured